Good evening, everybody.
Hello, all.
Hi, Roy. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Did our Key Club governor contact you about what evenings you are staying there?
No, I haven't heard from him since the initial invitation, and I was going to write you.
Okay, because we have our deadline on rooms coming up soon, and that was his task, and I guess he failed at it.
Okay. Well, I was beginning to wonder, but
okay. Friday night again, or you coming earlier?
Friday's fine. I think I have something earlier that week, but I'm clear Friday and Saturday.
Okay, so yeah, we leave Saturday, so you'll be staying Friday night. Okay.
Yeah, I will. If you have a full schedule, though, I'd like to see it.
I'll have to get that, but they are working on a schedule and ad book right now, so I will get something to you.
Good.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
I need up there.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Barb. Hi.
You're early, Barb.
I know. I had another meeting. I just switched over.
Oh, okay.
Early. How about that?
Well, good, because I forgot and put you first again.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I was thinking about, would it be okay if I shared screen and went over that report a little bit?
Yeah, let's give it a minute or so before.
Okay, that's fine. I have
still
to
getting people logging on here.
Good, because I have to get it up anyway. Okay.
But I will do that in the meantime.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Have a good evening, guys.
You too.
Love you guys. Love you too. How's Derek doing?
Derek is doing well, staying very busy. It's one thing after another, but that's all right. I'm blessed.
How is my old stomping grounds with the weather?
Pretty froze over. Unfortunately, we were not able to have Roy here in the division like we'd planned, so that was disappointing. But hopefully, we can get that on the calendar soon.
You bet. You bet. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. How are things down south?
Well, they're about 70 degrees today, so it was wonderful.
Well, that's good. Glad somebody's getting to enjoy it.
Yeah, we got in the mid 60s here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did here too.
Yeah.
Our 60, not mid.
Well, the far south, they said, has electricity problems. All the poles are down. It's going to be Thursday before they're up.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Hmm.
Well, I'm glad we don't have any more of that issue here, but we lost power for 11 hours back week before last. So with a 2-week-old in the house, that was a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All the games aren't working.
No.
Hard to even get things charged.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Barb is up first with the February 1st district membership report, and she's got an analysis. And Barb, you should be able to share now.
Well, now I have to find the share. Okay. Well. Okay, well, it's gonna take me a minute. Oh, and I'm on the next one too. Okay, I thought I had it open. Where is it?
You can't find it, I can probably get it up myself.
I think I have it up now. But I should be better at this.
Here you go.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. So,
You sent in.
so what I did was I went through and color coded and I added some colors. So for clubs, there are 4 color codings. One is for clubs of 0 to 9 members. We have 30 of those. 10 of them are charter revoked, which means that unless we take some kind of action to get them back, that we will lose them. And 2 of the 30 clubs that are 0 to 9 show growth. So for our clubs that are 0 to 9 members and show growth, I think we really need to encourage them because they're not giving up. They still want to grow and are working at growing, and we can help them. Then there are 18 clubs of 10 to 14 members, and 4 of them show growth. So again, I think those clubs in particular, we can just with maybe maybe if you call them and find out what they're doing and if you can help, but they need to be encouraged. And that is 48 clubs under charter strength, up from 42 clubs under charter strength last month. So we've added 6 clubs to being under charter strength. We have 45 clubs that are at charter strength that show growth. And again, I think we need to compliment them and encourage them because they are already showing growth. And we have 18 clubs that are at charter strength that have a loss. So, you know, I know you have a lot to do as Lieutenant Governor, but for those clubs, maybe it would be good to go over the list of potential occupations and have them do that with their club. Who do you know? Who do you get? Where do you get your haircut? Where do you, what veterinarian do you go to? All the services that you do in town, that those might be people to invite. Then with the divisions, I use those same colors and I just used 2 of them. So divisions with loss, you can see those up there at the top, and divisions with growth are color coded green. My logic was that green means we're growing and blue means I'm blue because they lost members. So that's the reason. But I hope that helps you and helps you also to think about how you might talk to the individual clubs depending on what situation they're in. And we always want to, I think, be really positive. I don't know, a lot of you have been through the coaching training. And one of the things that in coaches training in the book, if you get the
Don't worry about it.
book, talks about you being the club's biggest cheerleader. And so as Lieutenant Governor, that's what you're doing. And also talks about trying to find at least one member for them. So that'll take some digging, possibly, if you're not familiar with the community. I know in some areas your communities are pretty far apart, and you may not know people in the community so well. But you know, you can. One of the things we use in new club opening is going to the website of the chamber, and the chamber usually has their member list there. And one of I'll tell you some of the areas that I like to use. One is nonprofits, because nonprofits are there to serve. And so I always like to talk to the people in the nonprofits. Even if they don't become members, they have lots of good ideas of what we can do and how we can partner, and also people who might be willing to join. I always like to go to the schools, because if we're going to serve the schools, then we can ask for a member from the school, like teacher, assistant principal, parent, PTO. If there's a key club parents are people that might join an existing club. One time Mary and I went to Chillicothe, and the club had done a really excellent job of listing all the things that they did. So as we went around to try to get new members, people in the town were, first of all, really knowledgeable about everything that Kiwanis did and really appreciative. They had no idea that they needed members. They thought they just did so much service that they thought it was a large group. So that list of what the club does is really helpful in trying to help them gain members. And I know that Carla has a boost plan all prepared, and she's speaking, so that she'll go over that. Any questions about this? I know that Roy sent it to you. And if you find anything that needs correcting, please let me know, because I went through it at least 10 times, and the first 5 times I got different numbers every time. By the last 5 times I got same numbers every time. So I hope they're right, but they could be wrong. Anyway, I hope this will help you.
One quick,
unless somebody's got a question about it.
I think somebody does have a
yeah,
question.
it's Derek. Barb, I'm assuming if the clubs are not highlighted, that means it's just zero, no growth or
Correct.
loss. Is that correct? Okay, thank you.
No, that means they maintained, and that's a good question.
Any others?
Sometimes, just to piggyback on that, sometimes clubs that look like they maintained didn't. They just haven't deleted, and they wait till the end of the year. And also sometimes clubs don't wait till the end of the year, but people wait till the end of the year to say, oh, I'm not going to come back next year. So it's not always that the clubs are not dropping people. It's just that the people don't let the club know. Any other questions? Okay, so the training schedule for club opening, can you get that up also, Roy? I don't know why.
Yes, I think I can. Oops, wrong one.
Well, you're a lot better than I am. That's great. Okay, so now there's club coaching tomorrow night, 8 to 9 p.m., but I believe that is Eastern. All the times are in Eastern, so it would be at 7. And that's the Zoom link. John Buckwalter suggested that since these are all Tuesday evenings, that if anybody has a conflict on Tuesday evening, they can't ever go. So I was trained to be a club coach trainer, and I asked Brad the other night if I still was, and he said yes. So if you cannot attend on Tuesday night, and would let me know, and we'll schedule something else. The March club opening date is incorrect. It should be 3/7,
Okay.
but they're on Tuesday nights.
And if we haven't said this before, that people remember, you do need to have signed up ahead of time. You cannot just go to these links and go on at that time.
Thank you, Carla. Yeah, these are pre-registration links. So, and make sure that if you go to one of these, that they know your name and district, so that I get your name on a list and can add you to our list of trained people. And you know, the training is really, really basic. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, and you'll figure that out. And you probably already know a lot about it. A lot of you've probably already, as lieutenant governors, you've already been in a coaching role, but it does give you some basics. And what it does is it gives you the opportunity. I cannot add you as a coach. I add all the coaches to our district list of trained volunteers, and I cannot add you as a coach unless you've been through training. Your name does not come up as a choice. I don't know how familiar you are with the system, but when you're adding people to anything dealing with club opening, you have to type in the name, and the name appears. And if the name's not there for you to choose, you cannot add it. So going to this training gives you the opportunity to be chosen as a coach.
Well, and the other thing is the club coaching training would be helpful in Lieutenant Governor's role anyway. Whether you do any club coaching or not, you're always really club coaching. So
Right, exactly. Even if you're not coaching for membership growth, you're coaching. And you know, and there is some valuable information in there, because my tendency, and a lot of our tendency, is to tell people how to do things, and that's not coaching exactly for this purpose. I know that athletic coaches do that, but we're coaching leaders and helping them to grow cognitively is what we're after, whereas athletic coaches are helping them grow athletically and in terms of leadership too. I don't have anything. Well, I did want to talk about the club opening training. There is a club opening training. It does provide you some basics. Then we'd love to have you on a club opening, because that's the real training, is going out and inviting people to join.
and the next one there will be in March, but not 4/4. 4/4 is another club coaching date, but it's 3/7 in March, right?
I thought it was really club opening, but it was 3/7. I thought my
That's what I
understanding.
mean. Club opening is 3/7, even though it says 4/4.
Correct. Yes, that's correct. So
And
club opening is
there is
3/7.
another club coaching, which is actually 4/4.
Correct. Yes.
So I have a question on the date for the March club, whichever one it is, March event. The link needs to be corrected, because it's going to register you for the April 4th meeting.
Wow.
Because I registered and it put me in April.
And that came from KI, so we'll have to get KI to fix that.
Okay, Charlotte, I didn't understand that. Roy understood it and I didn't.
Sure. So the links for March and April are the same.
Ah,
Right. So if you register for March, it's actually registering you for April.
okay. I will, yes. I will tell them that and ask them to send it to me so I can send it out to you.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll send out a new one to everybody.
Right. Thank you, Charlotte.
Okay, Barb, you want to talk about the club opening schedule as we now have it?
Oh, I thought Carla was going to go ahead and do strengthening, but I
Well,
can
that's
go.
right. We go to Carla next. Let's go to Carla.
Okay, well, Barbara discussed the majority of what we're doing. There's a sheet in here that shows club strengthening possibilities. I have directly been in contact with a lot of these folks. And pretty much I have been put off for currently. Anyhow, we have no one saying that they would like more information, would like us to show up, and we can do all those things. Anyhow, I have a specific methodology if they would really like help from their lieutenant governors, from Mo-Ark people, myself being one of them. And that is a pretty easy checklist of how you do things. And it starts about 6 weeks before you would want somebody there, boots on the ground. So anytime anybody would like all that information, I would be thrilled to pass it on to you all and have you share it with the club. I'm sure that you have a much better relationship with the individual clubs than I do, even though I do know some of them as a past governor. I'm not there certainly all the time. I do see I had sent out information to Foreman and hadn't heard anything. Charlotte, do you know if they're acknowledging that they had gotten anything from me at all?
No, they have not, but they do acknowledge my emails, and they did send in their information for the Earl Collins Scholarship.
That's great. That's great. Well, would you like me to send it to you and have you forward it to them?
Sure.
Anyhow, on January, I had sent something previous, but the most recent time I sent it was January 9th, and I've heard crickets since then, so I can send it to you again, and then you can share it with them, and hopefully we can set something up. That would be great.
Okay, sure.
We do have interest, but not any dates from Gladstone, which is Greg Atkins, from Neosho, which is one of Norma Clinton's, and Joplin, which is also Norma Clinton's. Cedar County has been in contact. That's Marsha McClanahan as Lieutenant Governor. Dexter. Blake, what do we know about Malvern now?
Blake,
had said
can you
that
tell
they
us
were-
something about Malvern?
You're muted, Blake.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
very, very good. I was just writing Gretchen a email as we were talking. They have recently added 3. I know because I've talked to the secretary, but I'm gonna touch base with them again.
Okay.
Blake, is that 3 on top of the 10? That
No,
they're up?
that's 3, 210.
That got them to 10 members.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've recently added some, but I got the list from, I guess it was Carla that sent me the Excel spreadsheet from the last visit.
Mhm.
And I was just writing Gretchen, asking her when a good time to call her would be.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really great doc for them to follow up on.
Absolutely.
And for those who don't know what we're talking about, last year we did 4 regional meetings. And when we did those 4 regional meetings, we had club revitalization in each of those 4 cities. So Malvern Club was one of the ones that we were going to help. And so we developed a huge spreadsheet of people that we were going to try to call on. And there was a horrible ice storm, and basically we didn't get to do anything because
Yeah.
most everybody's contact info we had was at business addresses with business phones, and nobody went to work. So we couldn't even do a Zoom meeting because we didn't have any contact for them personally. Anyhow, to follow up on something like that is easy and good.
Yeah. I'll follow up on that.
Blake, you do a lovely job. I would say also that I know that there's a bit of struggling going on in, yes, in our new club, Bryant.
Oh, Bryant,
Mhm.
I have been in touch with Cheryl, and no, so I'll get back with her.
Okay. That would be good if you can, because they're,
Okay.
I know they want to be successful, but if
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
too many meetings where 2 or 3 people are the only
Yeah.
ones there, it's gonna become untenable and they're gonna
Right.
give up, and I don't want to see that.
We had a real good meeting last month. They had the most people on the Zoom that they've had. John Goss was there too,
Right.
and they had lots of good conversation. So I'm hoping they have turned the corner.
That would be amazing.
Blake,
Go ahead.
can you ask Cheryl if she could let me know what books they want? Because I have 150 books coming to them they can use for a service project.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
need to know the grade levels they want, and they'll
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. These are the Scholastic books, or
I'm not quite sure where they come from. They come from,
okay.
I think they are Scholastic. I'm pretty sure they are. But
That's generally
literacy club in the Eye of the Tiger has an agreement with the literacy club in California.
Oh.
And we pay, I think, $2 $1.50 a book.
Mhm.
And every club that's opened by an Eye of the Tiger member, they get the free 150 books. We just need to
Wow.
know grade level, but then that's a good service project already made.
I will ask her.
Yeah. Thank
Thank you, Barb.
Thank you.
And Blake,
Okay.
if you get something going at Malvern, I'd be glad to come down there and see if I can help. Since we didn't like, really get it going last time.
Yeah.
Right.
No, we missed it, and like Carla was saying, it was a tremendous ice storm, and I had family in the hospital at that time too, and it was just a bad series of events.
It fell under that stuff happens banner. Yes.
I did go out with Kim to 4 or 5 appointments the
Yeah.
day of, and we thought we really picked up a couple of it there, but I don't guess they ever did. So
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay. One other question of Charlotte. Is there any hope for Columbia County? Anything that we could do, or anybody that would accept our help?
Well, I've reached out to them more than once and no one will contact me. So I don't really know where to go from here.
Okay.
I
Do we
think
know who those two people are that are still listed as members?
I have a contact for one person, and
It's
that
a
was
husband and that's the one that's the husband and wife.
Right.
No.
right. I think so.
It's the Youngs, I think. Isn't it?
Yeah, is it Victoria Young?
Victoria Young and her husband Ethan or something like that. And you know, a- they said that they had gone around one day and gotten many members, but people were willing to join. They just needed to follow up with them. But I think they feel overwhelmed, and I can see that.
Mhm.
But I think that almost everybody who joined the original club was willing to rejoin, plus a couple more for the ones they had lost. I think there was a club there to be made.
That sounds like a place where we need to get a group down there, get a team together and go down there. That's a long way down there, but if we want to save that club.
Anyhow, Charlotte, if you ever have the opportunity to actually speak to them,
Okay.
please tell them that we actually do have a plan and we would show up boots on the ground to assist them in doing this. And I know that's the club that Albert and AC went and made a bunch of calls, isn't it, Barbara?
Right, they're the ones that got I thought they had enough
They
to,
got a lot of handshakes, but they didn't get applications in their
Yes.
hand with money. So that always becomes difficult to try to go back and visit. But if anybody had those notes, we could certainly start following up there. Okay, that's it, unless any of you have a question about a club in your specific area.
Barbara, this is Dave Kelly, Division 11.
Yes, sir.
We only have 4 clubs in our division, but I've visited all the clubs at least twice, and all of them have shown improvement, and all of them have shown a willingness to make their clubs bigger. So we personally here in Sedalia, well, for one thing, we have 2 clubs in our division that have over 100 years of being in Kiwanis. So, but we have, our club is going to do the 2-on-2, and we're going to have probably a night to where we're going to invite all the people that showed interest, and then explain to them what Kiwanis is and what we're all about. And then we're going to try another deal. We're going to go to the corporate sponsorship, and mainly on account of Tyson is big here in Sedalia, and we need to get versatility in our Kiwanis club, and we don't have any Hispanic or Black, so we're going to head for both of them. So that's what we're doing, and the clubs I really feel confident in.
Mhm.
so you think all the clubs will be willing to work on growing?
Yes, we've already had a talk with all of them. In fact, all of them have already taken in another member or 2.
Yeah, I was going to go back and let's see, what division are you, Dave?
Division 11.
Right. Okay.
See, we got a guy coming Thursday that's pretty sure that he's going to join, and then if he joins, his wife is going to join. So we're building.
Good.
That's
Your
great.
division
Do
is
you want me to send you the information on a club building that you could share with them if they want it?
Yes.
Okay.
Your division
And
is actually +5 for the year so far, Dave.
I would like to know when, if you get a club started in Parkville again, I'd like to know, because I was their lieutenant governor at one time, and I would be more than willing to go back and visit with them about Kiwanis. So,
So, how long ago has that been?
20 some years ago.
Okay.
We moved down to Sedalia about 20 years ago. So.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Oh, that's good. Greg Atkins will be glad to hear that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on so we can finish the rest of the agenda.
Okay, club opening schedule, y'all see that on the agenda. That's tentative, but it's coming together, especially for the first couple, right, Barb?
Right, we have visiting club openers who are going to come that week. We need to get all the preparations ready, and there's a lot to do, and we need sponsoring clubs. So Tiffany, I saw Tiffany.
She's there.
She's right next to you on my screen.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Tiffany. So I'll be calling you because we need help
Terrific.
getting sponsoring clubs and coaches and
Well, I talked to Jeff Johnson today. I think I got a lot of people willing to help. So we'll.
Good.
good. Okay. And then we'll need, I don't know exactly how we're going to do Jacksonville. The person I've talked to, Katrina, wants to do a lot of Zoom meetings. So we need to get those started, even though we're not going to try to open till April or May. I just want to get a feel for that. And is anybody on here knowledgeable about Jacksonville? It's a suburb of Little Rock.
It should be northeast of Little Rock.
Yeah, I'm knowledgeable about it. I go through there 100 times a year, but I don't really know
This is
about the prospects there. It's an air-based town, so there is a lot of transient traffic, but I think there should be a club there.
Right. So Roy, when you go through, you need to start stopping and having a meal there.
Well, I'd have on occasion. Unfortunately, there aren't that many places on the highway.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But there are a couple that I've visited.
So Roy, is it a growing area or?
Yes, the suburbs of Little Rock, for the most part, that's where the growth is. West of Little Rock and on the north side, Jacksonville, Sherwood, in that area. So there's a lot of growth there, a lot of potential there. I think one of the challenges we're going to have in Jacksonville is to have a club sponsoring. Ron Hill tells me that Cabot's not doing very well. That's the closest club to them.
Right.
And Conway is a pretty good drive from there, but that's probably our best prospect. And Ron's going to work on trying to find some potential coaches in his club.
When did you talk to Ron about that? Because the last time I talked to him about it, he said they wouldn't. So maybe you've got better
Well,
news.
this was at the camp the camp
Excellent.
ceremony last week.
Because I talked to him just before that, so that's good. Because he said Conway wouldn't do it, and he recommended Cabot.
Well,
And
I think maybe he already checked with Cabot and didn't get a good report. So that's what I know for this point. I want to pause here to talk a little bit about the governor's conference we had in January at Las Vegas. We had a great speaker, Barb Scott Sims, is that his name? The former governor of Alabama.
Okay. Yes.
Scott has become an area membership director, and he presented his plan that he carried out as governor. He decided that in February of his year that he wanted every lieutenant governor to open a club in his year. You think that February is kind of late, but they opened 8 clubs. They've got 8 divisions. Every one of his lieutenant governors was able to open a club before he left office, and the last one was on September the 30th, I think is what he said, 29th. So they made it. So my challenge to our lieutenant governors is not that you open a club, but that you either take a major role in opening a club, or that you take a major role in boosting a club, preferably in your division. not necessarily in your division. If there are no clubs in your division that want to be boosted, then maybe find somebody else. But you've got the list of club openings, and you've got the list of all the clubs that need help. So what I'm challenging you to do is to do one or the other sometime before October 1st, because it'll help your division if you do, and if not, it'll certainly help Kiwanis Mo-Ark. So with that in mind, I'm going to move on to events of importance, and we are working on the details on the mid-year educational leadership conference. I hope all of you will be able to attend that. We had some problems with the hotel getting everything lined out, but I think we have that now, and the schedule is coming together. We also are going to have on Friday morning, we'll have a board meeting for the Earl Collins Foundation. And then the past governors will meet at noon, and then we'll have the Mo-Ark Board of Trustees that afternoon from 1 to 5. And then we're going to try to do a fun thing Friday night. There is a place in Springfield, it's called the Pythian Castle. And it's got quite a history, but what we're going to do is try to get enough people to participate in this. There's what they call a clue adventure game, and I don't know what all it involves, but it should be fun, and we'll have more details out on it. But we'll have dinner at the Pythian Castle, and we'll divide up into teams of 4 to 6 people, is what I understand it, and we'll try to solve their clues. I don't know if that means locking us in rooms in order to get out, or exactly what it is, but it should be fun, and we're wanting to do this to try to get people into Springfield the night before, so that we can have them there for the full day on Saturday. And we'll have more details, but the registration is now open. They're taking, we have that on Facebook and on the Mo-Ark website, and you should have gotten an email. And so we are in the process. Paul is on now. So you want to talk a little bit about Lieutenant Governor training?
When does registration close for the ELC?
I think we've got it the 24th for registering. The hotel is, well, I don't have that right in front of me, but let me see if I can get it. Let's let Paul go ahead, and I'll okay. Look that up in the meantime.
I think, wasn't it like the last Thursday in February? Is that where it was?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is the 24th. We've got a different deadline for the hotel and a different deadline for our registration, but I'll have to pull that up.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, we've got Lieutenant Governor training. I sent out an email, and I hope everybody got it. Making sure everybody's saved the date. And it's the 28th and 29th of April. It's in Sykeston. And it is for purposes of getting there. We have a conference room at the Pear Tree Inn, which is a former Drury Inn. It's still affiliated with the Drury. And you get there, and I've got some things that are going to come to you by mail. One thing is a pamphlet I stole from Oregon about the job of Lieutenant Governor. Another thing is kind of some fun stuff to do, and we expect to have a program when you arrive that Friday afternoon. As you arrive at your leisure, put on by some people about what projects work for them, some other get-to-know opportunities. I guess they call them icebreakers. And the hope is we get in the back door at Lambert's and get everybody a throwed roll or something for dinner. And then the Saturday day is the full agenda from 8 o'clock until probably no later than 3 o'clock. With training that goes on for lieutenant governors as expected. We're going to have some dashboard training. I think Mary's going to fill in for Angie, who's going to be in Florida. And we're going to have some people specific about, and one of our hopes was lieutenant governors have a chance early to get some coaches training, to get some new club building training virtually. And Barb has shared those dates with us. I think they flip-flop each month, and I hope some people have been able to participate that way. It should make things go a little bit smoother on Saturday. That's coming up.
Okay, the deadline to register for the conference for the ELC is March the 3rd. And the deadline to get a hotel room at the Holiday Inn and Suites in Springfield is February 24th. And they have indicated that they might extend that for us, but right now it's the 24th of February.
So
Yep.
we need to share that really well and really fast so that people have, I mean, the 24th is just around the corner. So
Yeah.
Yep.
please try to get stuff out to everybody. We've compressed the timing on this so that they don't need to take as much time away from home, away from a job, away from anything. Please try to get people there. It is so worthwhile.
We will have a spread in the quantigram this month too. Okay. Otherwise, dates there that I've got listed for the Kiwanis International Convention, and we still have 4 district lieutenant governor vacancies. I'm still looking for a partnership coordinator. I do have, though, the beginnings of a diversity, equity, and inclusion committee, and we had our first meeting this afternoon by Zoom. I have asked 6 people to be on that committee. Stacy Nicholas from Palmyra has agreed to be its chair, and so we hopefully will have that organized. We're going to have a second meeting either the 21st or March the 1st, and hopefully we'll have it up and running by that time. Finally, I wanted to mention to you that the Board of Trustees did engage to study the organization of the Mo-Ark district. And I've sent you both the map of the district as it now stands, and also have outlined where we are on this thing. We need feedback from you about your districts as to what you think the future of your district is. I see Dennis is on this one. 19 and 24 have already suggested that maybe it would be in the best interest to combine those 2 districts. They're both are fairly stable districts, but on the other hand, they might be better if Derek is also in that area. So that's a possibility, and I've asked John Buckwalter to chair that committee, along with Paul Sherman and Gary Baker. And we're really just beginning to do that, but we're looking at trying to come up with an idea so that we could have it ready for the district convention. But we've got some districts that have gotten some divisions that have gotten out of line with others in terms of the strength of membership, total membership, and also in the number of clubs. We vary from 4 to 9 in clubs, and from 58 to 256 in members. Those that have 58, it's awful hard to find a lieutenant governor for those. So that's one of the issues that we need to resolve, and so we hope that you will have your input between now and the time that we come up with a plan, if indeed we do come up with a plan. The last time we looked at this was 10 years ago. No, not quite 10 years ago, 2015. And we decided not to proceed. The divisions have gotten really further out of balance since then. Some of the things that were proposed then would not work now. But we do need to take a look at this every once in a while. It's the Board of Trustees' responsibility to do so. We don't have like a census that tells us we have to do it every 10 years, but it makes sense that we should look at it once in a while. So that's in the works, and I'll be glad to entertain any questions or comments about that now.
Roy, this is Derek.
Yeah.
Our division currently has 5 clubs, but one of those is very inactive, let's just say, and unreachable. The other is really struggling. So I do feel that a combining of our divisions would be preferable and for the betterment of our division as a whole.
Well, one of the issues is always geography, and the plan that was proposed in 2015 was based on the assumption that no lieutenant governor should have to drive more than 45 minutes to get to a club in his or her division. I'm not sure.
I'm already over that.
Yeah, I think we've got quite a few. Charlotte Bradley probably has a lot further to go in her division too. So
I was going to say I appreciate that idea, but we're already in violation of it. So.
Okay, anybody else have anything that they would like to bring up about in way of a report from your division, or anything in general you'd like to discuss?
I'd like to hear Jim Fritz tell everybody about Key Club information.
Sure. How about that, Jim?
You're muted, Jim.
I'll give you a update of clubs. We have 145 clubs, which 39 are inactive. 106 are considered active. However, we only have 81 clubs paid. We have our DLC coming up. I hope I don't need a lawyer for University Plaza, but we
got one if you need it.
I know we're having problems filling rooms. There's a lot going on. Carla's involved, Cheryl's involved, the loopholes are involved. So we have a good adult staff, but we do have some concerns, and we're all working hard together to try to make it successful. We see a future of changes just to make it better. We're looking at getting rid of 19 divisions and reducing them down to the utilizing the Mo-Ark 9 regions. So we're looking, because we don't ever get enough lieutenant governors. So this is one way we're looking at changing that as well. And we're just waiting for registrations, and they've already they're keeping the rooms. They open till the 15th, and hopefully we're gonna get close to that.
When is it, Jim? When is the?
It's March, middle of March. Is it
18, 17,
15?
18, 19?
Yeah. 15 through 19 or something like that.
It's the week, right? It's the week after mid-year
Yeah.
leadership. Then it is the Key Club convention the next
16,
weekend.
16, 17, and 18, I believe.
Yeah.
That'd be that Thursday.
And then our board is going down a day early, the 15th. So
So
hopefully-
make sure that all of your clubs that have Key Clubs know that this is there and know what an opportunity it is for their kids to attend. And once again, it's kind of like registering for our leadership conference. It needs to kind of happen now to make it work.
we had kind of a deadline of February 1st, but schools have to go through so many loopholes to get POs and checks and this and whatever. So it's going a little farther. I only have about 50 to 60 students signed up, but I have other schools saying they will be there, but that's not no registration or nothing yet from them. So it's a little problematic. So we're hopefully going to be successful. And I'm told this year is the last year we have to go to University Plaza. So hopefully at the mid-year, we get to see how Holiday Inn is. I think March is still kind of problematic in Branson if we want to move to Branson, because I guess that's about the season opening. So, rooms will be more expensive. So we're going to look for a new facility.
Well, one thing we've learned through all this is how good Oasis was.
Yeah, and I contacted them and they were filled for a year.
That's why, yeah. Barb, you got something else?
Yeah, I have a question. Jim, does Mo-Ark Key Club send a group to the international convention?
Yes, I know Cheryl's going this year. I'm not quite sure if I'm going. I went the last 2 years, and it's basically depends on how many students. Last year, I had 3 go with me from Hannibal, and we had 1 out of the Kansas City area. So hopefully we have more. We have a way to reimburse their registrations. And I've already told them if you plan on going, now's the time to start raising funds. Talk to your Kiwanis clubs, do whatever you need to do.
I've got a scholarship for free registration, but the transportation then is on the student or the district or whatever. So I'll send that to you. It's due by February 17th, which is only 11 days.
You have a scholarship? I know one of the girls from Hannibal last year won a scholarship from KI, and it was, I don't know how much it was, for $300 to $400 because they paid us directly.
Okay.
So yeah, you can pass
I'll
that
send
on.
that to you. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, anybody else?
Dave Kelly from Division 11.
Mhm.
I've been on the Key Club board for quite a few years, or was. And one thing I thought that the district ought to try and do is learn where a lot of these kids that are graduating are going to go to college. And if there's a Circle K there, to notify Circle K that these students were coming so that they could still flow right into the Circle K deal.
The international is starting as we speak, an alumni program where alumni can sign up. And then we have not just for Circle K, we have it for Kiwanis clubs as well. So that's going on through the international.
Good. I thought that was should have been a good program.
Our problem
I don't
is
have
we
all
don't
the
have many
particulars.
Circle K clubs in Mo-Ark, and they've been real inactive for the past 3 years. So they could use a boost, that's for sure.
No kidding.
That's what I was getting at. It would boost them and help these kids when they went to college. There'd be somebody meet them that knew them.
Mhm.
And so it helped both ways.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I was at the leadership conference in Las Vegas as well with the youth protection. We just need to make sure we get all of our background checks done and talk about those things. I don't see it on the agenda for when we have our education leadership conference. If we're not going to have a time for it, we definitely need to set me up a table so I can answer questions for that. I'm going to send out a few reminders to all lieutenant governors to remind their clubs that if anybody got a thing saying that they need to renew their background checks, that needs to be completed soon, because we're 3 to 4 months into Roy's year, and those things, KI is going to start sending out messages, and that you shouldn't be working with these groups if you don't have that done. So it was a good conference as well. We did a lot of role playing. Our district specifically hasn't had any problems, but there have been other problems in other segments of Kiwanis, other districts. We just don't want it coming to our area. So just protect our brand.
Would you like to do something at the ELC?
I could talk a little bit. We also talked about at the leadership conference, maybe making it a part of making more of the youth protection stuff part of lieutenant governor training. That's probably something I should talk to Roy about, and pressing on more of the lieutenant governors to do the youth protection training at each clubs. But that's a lot to put on somebody too as well.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to make sure that the secretaries know how to check those boxes, answer questions, that type of thing. So I could do it. It's up to whatever we want to do, but
I think in the policy that it's supposed to be at all district events.
it is, or it's supposed to be available as well. But
I asked about it when we were doing the planning for the ELC, and they said, well, we do that at the district, but not necessarily at the mid-year. Yeah. But I think there's a way we could plug it in. Paul and I maybe could get with you and talk about whether we want to do it at both or one or the other. And
well, I think I definitely know we're supposed to be doing it or making it available. That's just another thing that I know it's no fun, but it is protecting ourselves. And if we sat in that room with all the other districts, they have had some close calls. And it's knowing how to deal with situations when they come up, and some districts shared some pretty scary situations and that they've had come up, and we're lucky things haven't hit our district. So,
But
well,
then
I've got an idea how to share it. So I'll share it with you, and we'll get back.
Okay.
Anybody else? All right, we've reached the 7 o'clock hour, so I'm going to call an adjournment for the group, and we will be talking with you again soon.
All right, sounds good.
Night all.
Right.
Okay.
thank you.